What's going on YouTube? It's your dude Heat Ledger. Today I want to share with you guys a number of ideas on how to make money while you are enrolled in college or university. If you haven't already, definitely hit that like button on this video. Definitely hit that subscribe button. I have a number of other videos for making money as well as within sneakers and the sneaker world. So if you are interested, I'd love for you to check it out. Alright, so I did a video on how to make money while you're in high school and I did 2 parts. Now there's going to be a little bit of overlap with that, but if you haven't seen that already, I suggest you start with that video, which I'll leave in the description box down below. If you've already seen that or you just want to fast forward and get into this video, then this is mainly for those that are probably 17, 18 and older that want to make a little bit of that extra cash. Maybe you have a side job while you're in school, or maybe you don't. You just don't have enough time, or you want to be able to make a little bit of money that works around your schedule. A lot of these ideas that I'm going to share with you are things that I personally did while I was in college and university, and it was a great way of making a little bit extra cash. Alright, there are a couple online ways and a couple offline ways, and I'm going to kick this video off with more of the online stuff. So the first idea is simply selling on eBay. Now there's so many people out there that make actual careers out of selling stuff on eBay, and what I suggest you do is start by selling a couple things that you have in your room that you just don't need anymore. Now there are sometimes extra fees you have to pay out to eBay, you have to pay your shipping materials, but typically those fees are very low, and because everything is online through an auction site, you just leave it up there, you can go and do your own stuff, and then when you come back, everything is already completed. There isn't any face-to-face stuff like Kijiji or Craigslist, which I'll get into in a second, which makes it, in ways, much easier. If you're trying to figure out things to sell, again, start with something that's in your room or at your house already, and then feel free to check out garage sales. You can check out estate sales. There are a lot of things out there that you can flip really quickly. The second way I'm going to suggest is using the website Fiverr.com. On Fiverr, you can sell a bunch of different services and everything from voiceovers to doing quick videos to doing editing. There are people that actually make tens of thousands of dollars off that site, which is pretty crazy to me. I've used it a couple times only paying someone. I've never been on the other end, but I suggest you guys go ahead and check it out. The third way is filling out surveys online. Now, one of the websites that I personally use is Swagbucks, but there are others out there. I'll leave those links in the description box down below. But basically what's happening is companies are interested in getting consumer opinions on some of their products. Maybe it's before they launch a product on the market, and this just helps them understand, you know, is this something that will actually sell? So in exchange, they might put their survey out on a website like Swagbucks, get your opinion on it, and then pay you for that opinion. It's a pretty fast and easy way, especially when you're racking up a number of surveys. You can actually earn yourself a decent amount of money online. Alright, the fourth way is what I'm doing right now, and that goes over the umbrella of YouTube or blogging. Now there's a ton of people out there that have made actual careers from blogging or YouTube. You simply need access to like a laptop to do some editing if you're in the video world, or even a camera. People are making videos off their iPhones. If you're in the blogging world and you have a bit of a background in writing, then you can start your own blog and your own website for like as little as like 10 bucks. When I started my blog, it was about $10 to register it, and then I pay like $5 a month as a fee. You can make money from advertisers that will put their banners on your website or on your YouTube videos. Alright, the fifth way is a little outside the box, but it's called a virtual assistant. Basically, companies will hire people remote to handle some of their social media work. Maybe it's Twitter, maybe it's just posting stuff to Facebook on their behalf. They might not want to pay someone for that entire role and have them sit in-house and have a salary. So maybe instead they pay a bunch of virtual assistants worldwide. This is becoming incredibly popular online, and it'd be a nice way to do some freelance work maybe for a company. So I'll leave some more information down below. Alright, now I'm going to get into more of the offline hustles. And I know I missed a couple of things online, but expect a part 2, because there's gonna be even more stuff that I'm gonna think about and come up with. Alright, so number 6, this is an offline hustle. And I can't stress this one enough, because you're in college, you're in university, you've proven yourself to be an intellectual, and people really care about their marks. If you are good in your major, or you just happen to know a lot about a certain course, you can help students in your own classes, or even help those that are younger than you excel in some of their classes. When I was in university, I'd see flyers everywhere for crash courses or just tutoring one-on-one. You can make anywhere from $20 to $50, maybe even more, depending on the course every hour. Because you're kind of your own boss, you can set the price also. And it doesn't just extend to university and college students. You can actually start tutoring high school students as well. You might think high school students don't have money, but actually you are reaching out to probably their parents or their families. And if they want to see their kids succeed, then it's a pretty high chance that they're gonna be able to pay for a tutor, at least for a few lessons. All right, the seventh way, because this is a sneaker channel, is doing cleanings, restorations, and customs. Now there's a ton of tutorials out there already on YouTube, and you can learn how to do some of the most basic cleanings or midsole strips or midsole repaints, and the paint itself costs very, very little. And there are people out there that are willing to pay a lot of money for you to restore or custom or clean their shoes. When I first started getting into it, I was testing it on some of my old beater shoes. And then when I felt comfortable enough to take on orders, I started doing that. And I've probably been doing some of these orders for about a year and a half, maybe even close to 2 years now. It's a great way for me to earn extra cash, which I then use to feed my sneaker addiction. All right, number 8 is simply cleaning. I knew a group of people at my university that would literally do a cleaning service on the weekends. All these houses had huge parties, and they would come in, it would be a team of 3 or 4 of them. We would toss them like $100. I never did it, but friends did, and then they clean the entire place and get it ready for the next day. This service was doing like anywhere from 10 or more houses every single day. In terms of costs, you don't really need too much to have a couple cleaning supplies. So cleaning and anything from houses all the way to windows for businesses could be a huge potential opportunity. All right, number 9 is babysitting. Now, if you're in a college town, typically that little bubble is comprised of mostly college kids, but just outside that, there's gonna be a lot of residential homes and families out there. And because you have a flexible schedule, you could go up and say, you know, or post a sign that says, look, I'm doing babysitting, I'm 18, I'm 19, I'm 20, responsible, I'm at this local college university, and then you can start having that conversation with you know, those families or those house owners or homeowners after that. Typically high school students do a lot of babysitting. There's absolutely no reason why, you know, if you're in college or university, you can't either, because you can make like $50, $60, $70 in one night, and typically you're just gonna be sitting in their living room doing your homework. All right, number 10 sounds a little nuts, but it's just so obvious to me. Computer repairs or helping people install software on their computers. Although we are, you know, in the digital age right now, and typically people, you know, in university or college are very well versed in those areas. There are a lot of people that aren't, or just don't have the time to be updating some of their operating systems and so forth. Like I said, typically it's gonna be a residential area with families outside that area that you live in. Maybe you live at home, and maybe you already live in a residential area with families. Print out some flyers that simply say, you know, we do computer repair stuff. I can fix, you know, viruses. I can install, you know, software on your computer. You'll be surprised at how many people actually need those services. Number 11 is dog walking. Okay, dog walking and actual professional dog walkers and those services charge a lot of money for what they do. I'm not saying it's easy, but when you have 3 or 4 or 5 dogs and you know you're comfortable with owning or taking care of a dog, then something of that caliber probably wouldn't be that difficult. Sometimes a lot of these people are out working and they need someone to be taking care and walking their dog. So this is a great way to earn some extra cash, and also you can have a pretty flexible schedule. So I suggest, again, looking online and finding a bit more information on that if you are curious. Number 12 is freelance work. So you can simply go on your Craigslist or another classifieds website area, check out some of the jobs and see what they're looking for. This could be everything from being like a movie extra, maybe they need someone to do voiceovers, maybe they just need someone to do some catering work or just stand there and look pretty all night. You'd be surprised at some of the requests that a lot of these websites have, and I've done a few of them in the past. Like there was one where I had to go and basically serve alcohol at a private party function. I literally stood there in a button-down shirt, and I had like a small tray and I had a bunch of alcohol on it, and I was just handing it out. I think I made like $50 for an hour and a half or something. It was probably some of the easiest money I've ever made. All right, number 13 is mystery shoppers. If you don't know what mystery shopping is, companies hire people to go around to some of their retail stores, or it could be like a fast food restaurant, for instance, just to test out some of their customer service. Now when I was working at a restaurant, we always had mystery shoppers hired from some of the upper management, and these people would just come into the store and ask a number of questions. Basically, they were testing me and some of the other employees to see how well we knew the restaurant's menu and some of the other customer service policies. Basically, if the employee fails, I believe there's like some sort of fee, or the restaurant could get in trouble because they're not training their employees properly. But you don't know who the mystery shopper is. They go in and they're completely anonymous. And if you are signed on to be one of those people, typically you'll be given a number of questions that you have to ask. I've never done it. I've just been on the receiving end, and it seems like kind of a cool gig because it's not just with restaurants. You can go into retail stores, you can go into grocery stores. So I highly suggest you guys search that on Google and find a way to participate in that in your local city or town. All right, number 14 is very timely because we're starting to go into the winter months, and I mentioned this on my last video, but I'm only saying it because it's such a great way to make quick cash, and that is shoveling snow. Now in the summer, you would actually be mowing lawns. Maybe in the fall, you'd start raking leaves, but typically the two main ones are mowing lawns and shoveling snow. Now that we're kind of transitioned completely out of summer, this is a great time to go door knocking in some of those residential areas and say, hey look, I will shovel this entire driveway for 20 bucks. Let's just say you take Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. to do a bunch of driveways, and you charge $20 per driveway, and let's just say you do 20 driveways, you're making $400 cash in that morning, early afternoon stage of your weekend. If you can hustle and grind and get out there, this would be an amazing opportunity, so I highly suggest you guys look into that. All right, number 15 is something that you probably see around your campus a lot, and it's like, come out and do psych surveys or do psych experiments or overnight experiments. Now don't get too worried. Typically a lot of these studies are really safe. I used to do them all the time in university, and I would make like $10 or $15 every single survey or every single psych experiment that I did. It was super quick. It'd probably take me like anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour, and because I didn't have a job, this is a great way to make extra cash at a pretty flexible schedule. Other more intense medical studies will take you for maybe like 3 or 4 days and perform some sort of experiment on you. Now I'm not entirely sure what that's all about. Sometimes it's something like, try this, I'm just gonna make a random example, try this protein supplement, and we wanna test some of your blood levels over 3 or 4 days. Typically they're testing out something that isn't probably gonna be harmful to your life, but it's some sort of product they're about to put on the market, and they need to test this with other consumers or people that would potentially fit that demographic of those consumers that would purchase the product. So sometimes it's like you have to be between 18 and 30, and you know, you have to be overweight, or 18 and 30 and you're super athletic, or something like that. Anyway, I've seen some of these research studies pay out like I'm talking like $5,000 for 3 or 4 days, and I've been a little too chicken to ever do something like that, but I've seen the ads posted around, and you can find them online as well. I would just go ahead and search you know, medical studies or research studies, and then maybe your city or your town, and you'll probably find a lot more information there. All right, you guys, number 16 and 17 are gonna be donating. So don't laugh, because it's actually a thing. You can donate your sperm and make money, and number 17 would be donating plasma. So blood. They're both pretty interesting ways because you're not only making money, but you're helping someone out there that is in need. All right, number 18 is becoming an Uber or Lyft driver. I don't know too much about this. I just heard online about people that have done it or do it around some of their schedules, and they can make like a pretty decent amount of money. Now the thing that I like the most about this is that it's flexible around your schedules. If you finish class at 8 and you want to do your Uber driving between 8:30 and 11 o'clock at night, and just pick up a bunch of people at that point while they're going out to parties, or maybe they're going out to nightclubs, then you could just make your money then, and then shut off your shut off your account after that and go back to doing whatever you got to do. Especially in the holiday months when some of the weather starts getting a little bad, it's difficult to hail down a cab, for instance, and more and more people are starting to use Uber. So I just know that someone told me, like in the colder and winter months, some of the Uber drivers start taking on even more work. So this might be a great time to think about getting into this. All right, number 19 is a mix of renting out your room and Airbnb. So there's gonna be times where you go away for the holidays and maybe some people are traveling back to your city or town that you do school in, and they need a place to stay. So for instance, let's say a holiday, Christmas holiday, you can maybe throw your place online on Airbnb, for instance, and get a little money from someone that wants to stay over a short period of time. That makes a lot of sense because no one's staying there anyway and you're already paying the rent. Another way that I'll combine with that is just renting out a room. So a lot of houses might not fill all their rooms, and maybe you already paid for that room, but it just kind of becomes a storage area. If you could take the time to screen tenants and rent that room out, it would be a great opportunity and way to make a little extra cash every month. Number 20 is renting out your driveway or your garage. This may seem kind of crazy, but people need places to park, especially if they're working in the area and they don't want to pay parking on the street, or they don't want to have to come out midway through the day and move their car. Even if you charge 50 bucks or 100 bucks a month to have the usage of your driveway or garage, this could be huge for some people working in the area. All right, 21 is going back to some of that arbitrage stuff. So just seeing what other people are giving away for free and just simply flipping that on Craigslist or Kijiji or maybe even eBay. You'd be surprised at how many people actually give away stuff absolutely free. Desks, chairs, dressers. These are all things that other students may need. So this could be a great opportunity to scoop something up either for free or at a very low cost and flip that. Number 22 combines kind of the free aspect and just simply looks at really good or cheap prices at places like estate sales, garage sales, or already looking on Kijiji or Craigslist for people that want to move some of their stuff in a really short period of time. At a garage sale, nobody wants to bring back all their stuff that they didn't sell back into their house. So if you were to go to them maybe near the end of their sale, see what's left over and say, hey look, I'll give you 20, 30, 40 bucks for everything here, you can usually flip a lot of that stuff either on eBay or any of those other websites that I mentioned. The same goes with people on Craigslist or Kijiji. Maybe they really need the money and they're taking offers. So feel free, if you have a little extra cash hanging around, it doesn't even have to be that much. It could be like 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks. Then you can invest that into something and flip it after and make a little bit extra money. So number 23 is if you have a car or a bike, and that's just being basically a courier. People need packages delivered, people need food delivered sometimes. You could even look into companies like Uber Eats, where you're delivering food so long as you have a car. All right, number 24 is actually really dope because people are always throwing parties at colleges and universities, especially house parties. And there's always a ton of liquor bottles left over. Now, I'm not saying you're supposed to go around and rummage through people's recycling and pick up empty bottles, but you can simply maybe even say to your friends, look, I'll come every Saturday morning, I'll grab a bunch of bottles, I'm really trying to make a little bit of extra cash, and this could be like a service where you're coming up and almost kind of cleaning up for them. In exchange, you're getting some of their bottles and you can exchange those or return those rather at the beer store or at a liquor store and get some money back. All right, and number 25 is resume help. So every college university student eventually wants to get a job, hopefully in their own field. Sometimes they don't have the experience to create a professional looking resume. So what you can do is explore online what makes a really good resume and then offer some coaching or even have them send you their resume first, and then you can touch it up and send it back to them. I know if I had no idea how to make a resume and I was a little lost, I would want someone to mentor me or help me out. I'd be willing to pay like probably $15 or $20 to have someone do that for me, and then I could keep using that resume after to build my career. I mean, it's a very small investment for me. And then on your end, if you know how to do all this stuff and you have a number of different clients in a way, then you can make a lot of money, I think. So maybe even boost up your own resume and use that as an example, which you would then show people. All right, you guys, that was 25 ways in which you can make a little bit of extra money or cash in university or college. My voice, again, as you guys probably noticed, has been totally really bad throughout this video. I'm really sick right now, and I lost my voice a couple days ago, so I'm just trying to get back into it. But again, if you guys like this video, please hit it with a thumbs up. Please let me know in a comment down below if I missed anything, and hopefully this video was helpful, and if it was, then maybe you guys can even share it with your friends and get out there and make a little extra money yourself. I really appreciate all your support. I'm your dude HeatLedger signing out. Peace.